Hey guys, my name is Gomez, Gomez, and I am a full stack developer from Malawi. In this video, I want to share with you how you can host for free your Django application on Python Anywhere. So I am already on Python Anywhere. The first thing I want to do is to go on pricing and sign up. Once you get here, all you need to do is you can check the pricing, but we want to host our project for free. So I will create a beginner account. This will allow me to host one website on Python Anywhere, but since it's for free, that's exciting. So we're gonna host our website for free. I will create my username, my email, create a strong password, and then I'll click agree. Once I've done that, I will register. I'm just hoping there isn't another Gomez. So yeah, I am the first Gomez to create an account here. I hope so. After we've done that, I won't go through the tour, so I'll end the tour right here. And now we have our account with Python Anywhere. That's simple, right? Now we have our dashboard on Python Anywhere. That's exciting, right? It's simple. So the next step is for us to now host a Django application. So let's do that. So as of now, we have an account with Python Anywhere. And here is our Django application that we want to host on Python Anywhere. First of all, if I go on my local host, you can see this is the default web project that comes with Django. So there is nothing that has been done to this project. But what I want you to get is a few important things. First of all, as you are working on your project, you have installed a lot of libraries, a lot of dependencies. So the first thing that you need to do is to freeze all your dependencies. So I will do pip freeze. So I'll do pip freeze, and then the output has to be minus, it has to be requirements.txt. So we are creating a requirements.txt file. Inside the requirements.txt file, we'll have all the dependencies or libraries that are supposed to be used by this project. So this is very important. You need to do that. Another thing is if you are starting your project, you're just starting your project, it's very important to create a virtual environment. So if you have this virtual environment, it makes managing your dependencies or libraries very easy. So now we have seen that this is a working project. Number two, we have freezed all our dependencies. The next thing is to host this project on GitHub. So I'm going to push it to GitHub. So to do that, what I'm going to do, you can see here, I am right inside this project. I have the Hello Django project, and then I have the virtual environment. But what I'm going to do now is go to this project and open it. So it's located here, Django, and then now this is my complete project. It has the main project here, and everything else that is required to be here. So I'm going to go ahead and initialize this repository. So once I've done that, because I don't want to use the commands and everything or this user interface to interface with GitHub, I have this cool application, GitHub Desktop, which was created by GitHub to use it to do all my commands and everything. So what I'm going to do is I've already initialized this project. I will go and okay, let's go here and I'll add a repository. I'll come here, add an existing repository, and I will have to go to the path where I have my project, which is YouTube, and then free hosting, Django, hello Django. So that's the directory I need, and then I'll come here and add repository. Once I've done that, you can see these are all the files that I have, and they're not committed yet. So I'll come here and I'll just say initial project commit. And once I've done that, I will commit this to my main, and then I'll publish this project. And then it will ask me for the name of the project, which I'll just leave it as hello Django, and then I'll provide a description. So I just say repository for a Django project. Once I've done that, here I will choose none because I don't want to locate it to any organization, and then I'll publish this repository. So this repository is now published on GitHub. If we want to verify, we can verify it, but it's published. And then the next step is now from GitHub. I want to clone my files from PythonAnywhere via GitHub. So that is the next step. Let's look into that. All right, so just to verify that we really uploaded the project to GitHub, here is the project that I just uploaded a few moments ago. And then what we want to do is to clone this project in our dashboard here. So now the next step for us to do is to go on bash here, and then it will open a command line interface and Ubuntu. I think this is Ubuntu. So it will open an Ubuntu server for us. Once it has done that, I want to go to my project here, which this is the URL for our project. But now if I come here and do git clone our project, then it will ask me for my username. I'll just provide my username here. And then for the password, what you have to do is the normal GitHub account password will not work. But here is what you have to do. What you need to do is come on settings here. And then once you've done that, you need to come to developer settings. And now come to access tokens here. And then I have a token here, but I want to generate a new token. So, okay, let's come again here and then generate a new token. I'll generate a new token. And then here, I'll just do this. I will give it a name, and then I'll just say Python Anywhere. Once I've done that, it says the token will expire like in the next 30 days. So after doing that, what I can do is I can generate this token. Once I've done that, it will give me this token code. I'll copy it and then come back to our application here and paste it. Once I've pasted it, you can see now it's cloning our project and it has already finished. So if I do ls, you can see now I have this project called hello Django. Now, since I've done that, what I want to do now is to create a virtual environment. This is very important. So let me show you how you can create this virtual environment. Okay, so now to install your virtual environment, there is this good documentation that describes how you can go about creating a virtual environment with PythonAnywhere. So they have this wrapper command that you can use to create your virtual environment. And the good thing is, if you use this wrapper, then you don't even have to specify the link to your virtual environment. You can just provide the name that you've provided to your virtual environment. And if you are wondering what that is, in the next few steps we are going to get to that level, so just hang on. So what we're going to do is we are going to use this wrapper command, and then here is how you specify the Python version that you want, and you can get a good hint of the number of versions they support if you go back here, and then you can see these are all the versions that they do support. So once we've done that, we'll go ahead and come to our documentation again, and what I want to do is copy this command. Is mk virtue env, but I'll just copy it, and then once I've done that, I will call mine venv. So let's let the command do its job. Okay, so right now it has created our virtual environment, and you can also see that the virtual environment is also activated. So what I'm going to do is now cd into my project, which is hello Django, and then if I do ls, you can see that now I have all my project files. So what I want to do is, remember we freeze this requirements.txt file. What we want to do now is to install all our dependencies using what we stored in our requirements.txt file. And then the most important thing is the virtual environment has to be activated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say Python. I will just say pip install -r requirements.txt. Okay, so we are going to let it install and then come back after it is installed. I don't think it will take a long time, but yeah, let's wait. Okay, so right now this is good news. We have just finished installing all our dependencies or our Python libraries. Now the next step that we have to follow is to go here and create now our domain. So if I come here on open web tab, it says to create a PythonAnywhere hosted web app, click add new web tab, web app button to the left. So we are going to click this, and now here it says your account doesn't support custom domain names, so your PythonAnywhere web app will live at gomez.pythonanywhere.com. so basically it's my username and then the pythonanywhere.com. This is just because it's a free account, but that's what we want anyways. So I'm going to click next, and it says I can select what web app I want, but I'm going to go on manual configuration. I know this is a Django application, but I want to start this from scratch, so I will do manual configuration. And then here we can select our Python version. We are using basically the latest Python version. So after we've done this, it says manual configuration involves editing your own WSGI configuration file, and then usually this imports a WSGI compatible application, blah blah blah. I will just show you what they mean by that and how we can achieve that. So I'm going to click next. Okay, so now we have created our domain name right here. So basically we can just call it a subdomain to this main domain Python anywhere. So what we are going to do, what we need to do rather, is first of all we need to go to this file. I'm going to open it. We need to do some edits to this file. What we need to do is to go where we have Django here, and then the first thing we are going to do is to import OS, import systems, and then I'm going to come here, the path to my application, and then once I've done that, I will come here and then here, and then I need to uncomment this, and then we are going to come here and then here. Let's look at the instructions a little bit. Assuming your Django settings file is at home/Gomez/my site and then settings.py, and your manage.py is at home/Gomez my site and then manage.py. So basically the path here has to be the path to our project. So in my case it's hello Django. If you go here, where is it? If you go here, you see that the path to my project is hello Django, and inside it I have the main project here, or I would just say the main application. Let me just say that. So I will also come here and include where I have inside this main project, it's where my settings.py are available. So I'll just say hello Django, and yeah, that's it. That's good for now, and then I'll just save it. So there's still one thing that we have to do. Even after I've saved this, I need to go to the virtual environment here and specify the path to our virtual environment. So since I used the wrapper to create our virtual environment, I can just say venv, and once I've done that, you can see it gives me the path to my virtual environment. So like after this, we'll come back to this file, but first of all, let's reload it, and then once it's reloaded, I'll go to this URL, open it, and see what we have. So it says disallowed host at GomezAnywhere.com. You may need to add Gomez.anywhere to allowed host. So what I need to do is copy this domain. This is very important for this to work. I'll go back to my files, which are here, and then what I want to do is ls again, and then I want to move into hello Django and get to my settings.py and change some settings. So if I do ls, you can see that's my settings.py. So I'll say nano settings.py, and then I will come down where it says allowed host, okay, and then that's what I need to do, just add the domain. And then if I exit, Control X, and then I'll just press Y for yes, and then I am out. What I need to do is to go back here and try to reload this. Once it's reloaded, I can go back here and do this. Now you can see that our application is working. Now there are a number of things that you still need to do. First of all, we want this to run over HTTPS. So I'll go back here and come down here, and then I'll say force HTTPS. So it's enabled, and then I can reload this. If I come here and do this, you can now see it's loading over HTTPS. Now I'll just try to go to my admin and see if everything is working. Now you can see that our admin is broken. Why is it so? So if I inspect this and come to my console here, it says refuse to execute this script, and this one says 404, this is not found. So what we have to do is go back to our application and run the collect static command, so that we collect everything, our static files, our CSS and everything. So I will, okay, ls, so I'm at the root, so I'll just say python manage.py and then collect static. It says this will override blah blah blah. I just say yes. Okay, let's run it again, and then yes. What's the error? It says you have requested to collect static files at the destination location as specified in your settings, and here it says you are using the static files app without having the static root settings in your file system. So basically we need to copy this and go back to our settings. So our settings is hello Django ls, and then nano settings.py. I'll just come here, anywhere down here. You can press this anywhere. I just like to add it somewhere here. Okay, so we have created our static root here, and there is also a good documentation that you can follow here. These guys wrote, it's just the normal way of adding static files. So we have this, and we want our static files to be collected in a directory or folder called static, and then what we're gonna do is come here, and then where do I have my static files? Okay, okay, this is the wrong document. Yeah, this one. And then here we have our static root defined. So I just say static root os.path.join base dir static, and then you need to make sure that you have imported os at the top. So I'm going to do that. Let me import it. I think it's not imported, so I'll just import os, and that's it. So I will exit and yes to save. Once I've done that, I will run collect static again. So let's see. Okay, so I need to go back to the root and then run collect static. Okay, it says 125 static files copied to this path. So what I'm going to do is just copy this path. Let's copy this path and then go back to right here and it says, where it says static files, it says files that are dynamically generated by your code, blah blah blah. So I am going to enter the URL right here. So I'll just say static, and then add the path here. So it says like home. It also gives you the instructions, but you can also find great instructions here where it does it give us the instructions here? I don't know, but it doesn't give us the specific settings. It says, okay, here it says finally set up static files mapping to get our web servers to save your static files for you. Go to the web tab and then go to static files, enter your URL as static URL in your URL section, typically this, because we have named our directory static, and then enter the path from the static root into the path section. So it's the full path now, including your home and then your username. So once we have done that, I'm going to go back here, and okay, you can see this is home, username, and then the directory of our project, and then static, and then this is the URL. So we're going to reload this, and then if we go back here, it should work. Now you can see our application is running over HTTPS, but also this is now loading all the CSS and JavaScript that is required. So that's how you go about setting up or deploying your Django application to pythonanywhere.com for free. I have also created other tutorials or other videos where I talk about how you can host the same Django application for free on other websites. So if you're looking into other alternatives for Python Anywhere, just check on my channel. I'm hoping that you find very helpful content. Feel free to subscribe to my channel to help support this channel. Otherwise, have a great time and see you next time.